Rooney, for giving us this interview for NexTV Africa and India also. So can you tell us a bit more about what are the various initiatives of Inview in India?
Well, first of all, this has been a tremendous conference. A lot's been packed into just a day. We obviously have been involved in around the world, but India is now looking like it is an ideal place for us to up activity in terms of what we're doing. I don't know if you're familiar with what we do, but we provide part of the middleware that really drives the infrastructure for set-top boxes around the world. We do that in Africa, we do that in Latin America, we do it in Europe, and we do it in Asia. India in its own right is huge, and to do it needs to be done properly. Now, there are a lot of very, very important issues in India. For example, because it is so vast, each of the demographics is huge in its own right. And what we've been speaking on the conference today is about how to monetize the set-top boxes when the ARPU is particularly low. When it's $1.50 to $2 and it's a huge market, you've got to be very careful to work out how operators can make money. And where we come in is, and we've done this, as I say, around the world, is really driving the box to be able to provide a number of additional things. One of them, which we majored on talking today, is targeted advertising. Because our DNA is very much EPG, user interface, we're able to do very, very clever things with the electronic program guide. Now, if you look at in terms of advertising, the advertising market in America is about $100 billion a year. In India, it's just 2 to 3 billion, but that's going to change dramatically. Now, if you can start driving that means that the operators for the first time, the ones that are buying the set-top boxes, can start making money out of it. They're not just acting as a vehicle with advertising for broadcasters. So what we're basically saying is, look, there's a lot of things you can do. We were involved with Freeview in the UK in the year 2000, and we've done an awful lot to show how banner advertising, cross-promotion, how you can do with the channels, and it's all very exciting. Now, it seems right, very much in India, for us to be able to do that. It's a huge market. We're not expecting the end user to be paying for that. What we're doing is we're encouraging people to use the skill of advertising on the EPG, and that will work very well. So that's first of all going to enable low-cost set-top boxes, because we've designed it. We can deal with very high.
About your set-top box, so how does it differ with other operators?
It's not, and we don't. We're the software. We go with the set-top box, but where we differ is we can work on very, very low-spec set-top boxes where the CPU and the memory is much smaller. So we're able to do it on that, which means that the actual cost is there. Now, evidence of how successful and how compelling this is the fact that we were selected and mandated to be the software for Nigeria. And in Nigeria, there's the low ARPU, there's the need to drive. And so that's why they're going aggressively with AS over the next couple of years, and we are central to it. We're able to monetize that box, because it's not just about putting advertising about channels, but it can be for competitions, and it can be for video on demand, it can be for information services, where it's in Nigeria, for example, it's very, very important. So overall, we're able to enable operators to get more value out of that box. That's the starting point, because added to that is it's relatively easy to introduce things like video on demand. And what we did in the UK, we had push VOD, so it was sent overnight to the box. Now, a simple low-cost box can have a memory stick using the USB or a hard disk drive, but it can be sent overnight when bandwidth is at its cheapest, so that it can be accessed. So gradually, you can start from monetizing the box from advertisers or information services, but you can then go to the next stage of, say, well, video on demand, and gradually do that, but in a very, very subtle way, and not necessarily too expensive, because you can't suddenly go where there is an ARPU of $1.50 to $2 a box and then start basing your business models on getting $3 or $4 a week. It's not going to work. But as the Indian economy grows, as everything is driven forward.
Talking about the ARPU, Indian ARPU is really low. So how are you dealing with this challenge?
Well, I think, as I say, we've already, Nigeria has it. Lots of places in the world have it. And it is not just about demographics. It's about wanting value for money. I mean, at the conference today, we learned that cinema goes, it's nearly $10 in the US, and yet it's $1 here. Now it's getting value for money, and this sits comfortably with the whole ethos of everything we do, which is really making everything valuable in terms of monetizing, in terms of driving the extra things. And the other element of that, which we've got 15 years of experience, is audience measurement, because if you're going to do something like advertising, you have to be able to prove that you're measuring it. And we've had a huge amount of effort going over the years in dealing with that as well. So it fits comfortably. So to really answer your question, we believe that India and Inview are completely, well suited to each other, and we're looking forward to driving all the interest that we've seen today.
So talking about India, are you dealing with other SAARC countries apart from India?
We are. What we tend to do is to really go and drive and provide added value. As that's what we did in Nigeria, and that's tending to work. We're more than just providing some solutions. It's about embracing those countries and really understanding and listening very carefully to what's being required, rather than just simply try and make something fit. And all those countries are, digital TV is very, very important. I mean, it's almost a human right, and it's only once you've got digital TV can other areas and infrastructure start to be built up. So the broadband penetration, broadband speeds, all the things we talked about today, they need to do. But we will work with countries, and we'll work with governments, and we'll work with operators and grow with their business.
Okay. So talking about Nigeria, so how are you dealing with the uncertainty climate regarding the digital migration?
Well, one of the compelling things about digital TV is that it tends to it's a complete win-win. Nobody loses by going digital, and digital television generates the interest, the wealth, and through how it's designed. Now, there is no country on earth that doesn't want to go digital and sees the benefit of the digital benefit. The second thing is that as you look at some of these countries, they do have challenges to overcome, but we have shown, because we've been around for a long time, we've shown that we rise to the challenges, and each country is different. But uncertainty in any country, in America or the UK, was there one day. What we have done is made that look easy.
Apart from Nigeria, do you work with other countries on the African continent?
We are very, very busy there. We're very busy working not only with operators, but with governments. We're busy in Asia, we're busy in Latin America and the Americas. So we're pretty active. We're based in the UK, and as I said, to explain, we are just a few miles from the Old Trafford cricket ground, which whenever I go to any other country, I'm always talking about being near to Old Trafford soccer ground, but here the cricket ground's more important. But we are central. We know we've understood mature markets for so long, and we know exactly how to make it straightforward. We have a platforms team, we have a solutions team, we have a tremendous engineering background and a record of success. And we'll be delighted when a lot of the things that we're talking about in India come to fruition.
Talking about NexTV series, is it your first participation?
Yes, it is. It's been great. I like the idea it's one day. If you could talk to the organisers of IBC and get it down to a couple of days, everybody will be grateful.
Okay.